just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'd understand. We all need somebody to lean on. If there is load you have to bear that you can't carry, I'm right up the road. I'll share your load if you just call me. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. Have a problem that you'd understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, boy. It won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Woo!
Wow, how did we get pretty people up here? No, you can stay. Stay.
Those would be fairies and princesses,
Fairies and princesses.
and a little
Nice.
kitten.
Nice. Welcome to Beach Baptist. Huh. Yeah. So we're excited you're here. We think you've just walked in the greatest church on the planet because we are the greatest church on the planet. No, welcome. Let me just tell you about a couple of things going on that you need to be a part of or that you're going to be excited about. So happy Valentine's Day. Yeah. And I don't know who taught them to do that, but it wasn't me. As an expression of love, a group of our guys here at church have put together a fish fry, and the first 300 people that get out into the parking lot get free fish dinner today. Okay, so as an expression, just happy Valentine's Day, God loves you. It's all in support of our youth department, so they've donated all the funds and they're raising the money, but they're actually bought your dinner for you. There's no money involved from your perspective. You just, after church, you're going to go out the back doors. You'll see the fish fryers out in the back parking lot. The retreat center is open for you to sit and eat if you want to. You can come back up here and eat. You can take it to go. It's already in boxes for you. We just want you to enjoy it. Take it over the beach, eat together. Just enjoy the day and don't worry about lunch because it's on them. I would say us, but it's on them. On them. Yeah, so don't miss. They actually went and caught most of the fish just before the water turned. Yeah. It was in the good water. It was good water fish. So yeah, you want to go and do that. Who's on vacation? That's a month or less in town. All those people who've never had a free fish fry after church on Sunday. I promise. That's right. There you go. We want you to fill out one of those sheets in front of you, the white card. That's a registration form just to let us know where you're from. Take it back to the coffee shop before you go get your fish dinner today and get a free gift just so you can remember where you were today, February the 14th, Valentine's Day 2016, right here at Beach Baptist. And then if you're from around here, which means you're here more than 4 weeks a year, that means you're around here. The other cards for you, if you hadn't filled one out, once you fill one out this year, get that back to Katya as soon as church is over. She wants to take a picture of you so that we can talk about you and what you're not doing. It's not what we do with it. There's a lot of people in here, and we like to remember who you are whenever something comes up. And we're talking about you. We need to put a face with it. So, in a good way. So be sure to fill those cards out today as soon as worship's over before you go get your fish. Who's excited to be in God's house today? Good stuff. Yeah. Turn around. Tell somebody that you're glad they're here, and let's keep singing. Pretty.
who breaks the power of sin and darkness, whose love is mighty and so much stronger. The King of glory, the King above all kings, who shakes the whole earth with holy thunder, who leaves us breathless in all their wonder. The King of glory, the King above all kings. Y'all sing, this is amazing grace. This is unfailing love, that you would take my place, that you would bear my cross. You laid down your life, that I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me. Who brings our chaos back into order, who makes the orphans a son and daughter. The King of glory, the King above all kings, who rules the nations with truth and justice, shines like the sun in all of its brilliance. The King of glory, the King above all kings. Go! This is amazing grace. This is unfailing love, that you would take my place, that you would bear my cross. You laid down your life, that I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. And worthy is the King who conquered the grave. This is amazing grace. This is unfailing love, that you would take my place, that you would bear my cross. You laid down your life, that I would be set free. Here we go. Oh, Jesus, I sing for. In the darkness, where everything is unknown, I face the power of sin on my own. I did not know of a place I could go where I could find a way to heal my wounded soul. He said that I could come into His presence without fear, into the holy place where His mercy
Thank you, God, for providing a place for us to run to. In your name we pray. Amen. Y'all be seated. Any kids, come on back up here. I mean, you stay here. You don't have to move. Why y'all do? Hey, fairies, princesses, let's go this way. What? Okay, so we're going to switch sides forever. This is where we're going to meet from now on. Is that all right? Because you really messed me up.
It's the kitty cat.
I'm a kitty cat. I'm a princess.
What color is the sky in your world? Is it purple with Skittles?
And this is Elsa the princess. She's a Build-A-Bear. And she's a...
This is my magical wand of love.
Can I have it? What? I want it. It's not even a magical one.
Who's taking them downstairs?
Me?
Oh, I'm going to sugar them up. So, no rushing. Back off. Sit back where you're at. Start with the prettiest. Max. Joking. Start with the coolest. You're the cool.
I'm a Valentine. I'm the coolest.
You're a Valentine.
I mean,
Who told you that?
my mom.
Oh, I cheated. Okay, seriously, don't count how many M&Ms go in your hand because I'm not going to do it even. Just eat them. Be glad you got them.
I get 3. They get like 7.
They got like you don't like chocolate? What's wrong with you?
That's unfair. I get more.
Whatever.
Yeah.
That's the second hand. Yeah. So today's Valentine's Day, and guess what? There's absolutely zero Christianity in Valentine's Day. Okay? It's not has anything to do with Christianity. But it does have to do, if we think about it, the most important guy who taught us how to love. Thank you. Good answer. Welcome to church. Jesus. Jesus taught us how to love. So today is cool. You get candy and you get to say, will you be my Valentine? And we don't even know what that means. But we want people. It's just really an excuse for you to get candy, and I know you don't care. So it's fine. What?
Not me.
Not you what?
It's an excuse to give me love. I got a Hershey's bar this morning.
That's the weirdest thing I've heard today. You got a Hershey bar for your Valentine? Huh.
No, for me.
Okay, so listen. So let's remember today's Valentine's Day. Awesome. Get candy, be my Valentine. But remember, Jesus showed us really about love. So anybody that tells you they know about love, and if it doesn't come from Jesus, that love is kind of weird. It doesn't fit. But Jesus' love is perfect. Perfect. He loves you when you're being goofy. He loves you when you've been bad. He loves you when you're being good. He loves you all the way through. All the way through. Not just on Valentine's Day, but every single day. High five. I feel like a rock star.
No, that didn't count. We were the girls who were bam.
Yeah, I know. You were the girls on stage today. You know how I knew? You're wearing the hat. What? All right, go with Miss Bev. Go. Shoo. 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 My turn. You know who loves you? Thanks for giving them chocolate. Don't mind if I do. Man. Jonette gave me a pill, and I don't know what's in it. Isn't it funny when you start a sentence like that? We've been praying some weird stuff around here. Past 3 weeks, or for the month of February, if you've not been around here, we've been taking a challenge that we were going to change our prayer life, at least for the month, and we were going to pray only 3 specific prayers. We've had 2 of them. This is week 3. So for the rest of the month, 15 days, we're going to pray all 3 prayers together, and that's our prayer life. Okay? If you're taking the challenge. I mean, if you're out there and you're not doing it, it's fine. We're probably talking about you on Wednesday night. That's okay. First week prayer was, search me, O God, know my heart. Reveal anything in me that's bad. Reveal my sin. Show me my anxious ways, or show me what I'm afraid of, and then reveal my sin to me. So search me, reveal some anxious stuff to me, the things that I fear the most, and then show me my sin, reveal it to me, and then lead me. Lead me. So we kind of pray that, and it's whatever version of that you want to pray, but that's actually Psalm 123. No. Yeah, there it is. 23 and 24. Then we prayed last week, Lord, break me. So he's searching us, revealing to us, breaking us. And it's very dangerous. We've said it. They're very dangerous prayers. They're not normal prayers. They're not safe prayers. They're not any of those things. They are dangerous because they really start to mess with our lives. They really start to kind of mess us up. It interrupts the life that we've got going. It interrupts what we think we should be doing. Here's what I've noticed, at least just from observation, not critical, but this is what I've noticed. Many people return in prayer requests here. We get them all the time. Actually, the back of your white card is normally, we use that for prayer requests. You can turn those in. They'll hit our prayer chain, and people will pray over them. We got an email list that goes out, and it kind of just broadcasts, hey, this is what we're praying for. But when I look at those, what my observation is, 99.989, that's an accurate percentage, of the prayer requests that come in have to do with things that affect us or those that we love. Pray for my grandma, heal her, help me get a job, let me know which way I should be going, what I should be doing. I've got this going on in my life. I need you to pray that this is the way it comes out. And that's kind of just our prayer life. And we really been looking at this in the Wednesday night, our Bible studies, when we go deeper in this stuff. So if you missed it, you really missed a lot. And you really ought to tap into that kind of study, because that's when we get really, really deep. But anyway, we've seen that, or I've seen that. And I would dare you, if you're not doing this challenge, to look at how you're praying and what your prayers actually look like and what you're asking God for. Because today, our new prayer that goes on to this is what I call a prayer of availability. We're going to tack on to search me, show me where I'm fearful, reveal my sin to me and lead me, but then break me of myself, break me down, break me, and now use me. Use me. We're going to say it a little different, but you can say it pretty much anywhere or any way that you need to. But to be available now to God. First off, this is not a message about missions. Because normally when you hear about this sort of thing, we hear, oh, he's wanting somebody to go on a mission trip. So if I feel guilty enough, I'll probably sign up for the mission trip today. It's not what this is about at all. We're talking much, much deeper than that. We're talking much more involved in that. We're not talking about you carving out a little section of your life and giving God a couple of hours or maybe a week this year. We're talking about devoting yourself to His availability, or to your availability to His service. That's what we're talking about. And it really, really gets messed up. So you thought the other two were dangerous. This prayer is convicting. It really is. Because what you're going to find out by the end of today is that there was already something in your life that God has been telling you to do, and you just haven't done it. Or you're going to remember times when God had prompted you to do something, and you just didn't do it. And you had a reason, you just didn't do it. And maybe you're even beating yourself up over it. Maybe you keep going back to it. If you're like me, there's an example in my life where I always go back to that, and that's the reason when I know God's telling me to do something or say something or go somewhere, I go without fail. Reckless abandonment is what someone has called my life. But it's okay. I've learned that lesson. You see, for the past 2 weeks, when we talked about these prayers, and I've given you examples from my life, a few of you have come up and it's like, Is everything okay? You doing all right? You're not going to like jump off a cliff or nothing, are you? Or I had three people offer to beat up whoever's causing trouble in my life. And don't worry, I made note of you, and we'll use you later. No, nothing like that at all. Absolutely zero. It is a glimpse into my life about getting to where I am. And it felt to you, evidently, like I had low self-esteem. And I did for a long, long time. So today, I'm going to puff myself up to let you know I don't have low self-esteem, at least in this area. I will tell you right now, I learned this lesson, and without fail, will do what God tells me to do over anything else. Over anybody, over anyone, over culture, over nothing. So that's me. That's just me. I hope you're that way. Hope you can say that about your life, because you need to proudly be able to say, I will stand and do what God tells me to do, regardless of what it looks like. Now that it does cause me to get more people involved in my life so that they can say, the ones I trust, so they can say, you sure that's you? Because you lead, I have a very prone personality to go over the top. I know, big surprise. Without checking. So that requires checks and balances. Not to say, well, you really shouldn't do that. But just to say, is that from God? And I trust them when I say, absolutely, that they back away. And they go, well, let's just see what he's going to do then. Let's see. And that's cool. And that's cool in my life, and it can be cool in your life. And you will see tons of stuff open up and happen when you become available to God. Not just ready to go to heaven, ready to have God fix your life around here, ready to make your life better. But when you can say, God, I'm ready for whatever you have, things start to change. You start to change. And I don't know what it's going to be. When you pray this prayer, God, I don't know, maybe you're afraid, I'm going to pray this prayer and God's going to tell me I got to sell everything and move to Africa and become a missionary. Well, let me just tell you, that can happen. Can. And if that's the reason you're not praying it, shame on you. Because you're scared. But if you've done search me, reveal what I'm scared of, show me my sin and lead me, then break me, if you've said that prayer, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You'll be ready to go. But more often than not, he's just going to call you to listen to him wherever you are. He's just going to call you to do, and you're going to be able, I don't know what he's going to tell you. He could be telling you to sell something. He could be telling you to buy something. He could be telling you to go somewhere. He could be telling you to stay put. He could be telling you to talk loudly. He could be telling you to sit quietly and pray. Whatever it is, God use me means whatever it is you want me to do, not whatever I want to do, not whatever I see needs to happen around here. He could tell you to vote Republican. He could tell you to vote Democrat. God forbid. No. I know some of you were like, no. Feel the burn. No, I don't know. He could be telling you anything. And that's what's so cool about it is when you say, I'm available to God, you don't know the answer. You don't know what he's going to tell you to do. And that's how you know you're following God, because you have no idea. And you have no reason to actually, on the planet, be able to justify it most of the time. It's just, man, that's what you want me to do? Oh, okay. Okay, I will. I'm going to look at a couple of stories, because if you look in the scriptures, from beginning to end, old to new, you will find God calling people. God calls people. Now, not on your cell phone. He doesn't send you texts. But call means to impress upon you, guide you, lead you. And we say just clearly, ask you. One of the kids last week, I'm doing it, and they go, you mean he talks? Yeah, absolutely. Is that all he does? No, absolutely not. What does it look like? What does it sound like? I don't know. I know what it sounds like for me. I don't know what it sounds like for you. See, this is one of those areas that you've got to be so quiet before God that He actually shows you how He's going to tell you. That He actually reveals to you what He's going to do to impress upon you. See, the first step in this is learning God's voice and deciphering it from your voice and from noise around you. Let's look at a couple of things, because there's 3 responses to God's call, and 2 of them are wrong. One of them is right. The first response you'll see in the Bible comes from Jonah, and it is, "Here I am, God, I'm not going." Right? "Here I am, God, I'm not going." This is verses 1 through 3. The word of the Lord came to Jonah, son of Amittai. Verse 2, "Go to the great city of Nineveh and preach against it, because its wickedness has come up before me." So he said, "Go." But Jonah did what? Ran away and headed away. "Here I am, God, I'm not going." And is that your response a lot of times? "Oh God, here I am. I'm your vessel." You know, you use really, really good words. I'm clay, mold me. Just don't make me look like that one. Right. Fill me up, but not with that stuff. "Here I am, God. I'm not going." See, many of you had that similar experience. And God would tell you to do something, and you would be like, "I'm here for you, God, but not that. I mean, I can look back, and the reason I tell you I've kind of not mastered this, but I'm okay learning more. But where I'm at in this is because I spent so much time going, not that. I did go through a period of my life when I was doing everything, and Sherrianne will tell you that she thought that God was looking down on me, going, "I did not tell him to do that, but we're just going to go with it because he's got a good heart." Because I was so gung-ho that I was going and doing and going and saying and going and being, and then at the end of it going, "I believe God told me to do that. I believe God told me to do that. Yeah. And it would like fall apart. And that would be like, why would God have told you to do that? See, I forgot to ask in the first place, God, am I supposed to do that? I was just going and doing and doing and going, I'm sure God would want me to do that. Of course God would want me to do that. What are you talking about? No. See, you got to learn. God tells you ahead of time what to do. He doesn't expect you to go out on your own and then pray him into acceptance. Ask him to bless what you've already done. Yeah, God, I see how I screwed up here, but you're going to have to jump in because you said you'd make it all good. No. God, where should I go? What should I do? What should I say? First, I'm yours. Sometimes God does call. I don't know. So here I am. I'm not going. First response. Second response was from Moses. Here I am, God. Send somebody else. Here I am. Send somebody else. This is Moses. So now go. I am sending you to Pharaoh to bring my people, the Israelites, out of Egypt. And this is so cool. He gave Moses so much detail. You're going. Here's why you're going. Here's what you're going to do when you get there. And what does Moses say? Heck, I don't know what he says. Actually, he says, I'm not your guy. Send my brother. Did I only give you one verse to put up there? Oh, whatever. It's not like you're going to lie and tell us. Boom! Moses said, who am I? I'm your servant, but not in this. Send somebody else. Send my brother. He's much better. I can't talk. I don't do well. Is that you? God will impress upon you to do something, you'll go, they need to be doing that, not me. No, they got more time than I got. I'm busy. No way. Let her do it. I don't see her doing anything. I don't see him doing anything. Why do I got to be the one that always does stuff? Here I am, God, but make them do it. I'm here to serve you, God, after they do. I've already done 5 this week, God. You need to get on them. They're not showing their love for you, God. Think about it. You've said it. Anybody want to be honest and say you said it? I didn't think so. Here I am, God. Send somebody else. Send somebody else. They have more resources than I've got. I cannot give. I don't have enough to even. I'm tithing, God. Yes, I know. I know I'm tithing. You got me there. But more? Come on. You need to get those other guys, those rich guys. They need to be the ones. I don't need to get. Send them. Here I am. But send somebody else. Especially in this situation. I mean, they're better equipped. Send somebody else. I'm not going. Not going. And you've probably said it about a missionary trip, true. But you probably say it more often at home, at work, at church. Send somebody else. See, I want to encourage you this week that this may become a daily part of your prayer life. Here's the right response. Isaiah chapter 6. I love this chapter. Oh my gosh. It's so awesome. Isaiah says in verse 8, "Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, whom shall I send? Who will go for us?" And before Isaiah says what he says, notice what he didn't say. What's the climate down there? Is it safe? Am I going to be able to get back home okay? What's it pay? Are there benefits? Am I going to get any vacation time? Are there going to be people to help me? I mean, because I would do this, but there are going to have to be some people to help me. I can't do it by myself. What'd he say? Here am I. Here am I. Yeah, I printed it for you. It's right there. And if you don't want to talk like King James, say, here I am. Send me. Here am I. Send me. Anybody ever read that and said, where's he sending him? Anybody? Me neither. And Isaiah didn't ask. He just said, here I am. I'll do it. Here I am. What do you want? Take me. Pick me. Pick me, coach. Put me in the game. You see, what I notice in my spiritual walk at some points is that I'm the Christian who's like, all right, if nobody else does. Oh my gosh, I got to do it again. Why? Why I've done so much? Why? When in reality, the Christian walk should look like this. I get to be the front of the line. I get to find out what God wants me to do, and I get to do it. You wait your turn. Yes, I know I've already done 10 this week, but I don't care. He's told me to do some more. Get your own assignment. This one's mine. Does that look like our lives? Go ahead, do this. No. Not so much. Not so much. See, I could use this as a shameless plug to guilt you to working in kids. Oh man, I could do it. I could guilt you into all kinds of things. I'm not even bringing up what our church needs, because they're petty. They really are. They're petty in comparison to saying that to God and finding out what He wants you to do in your life. Wow. Here I am. Just let me go. Search me. Tell me what I'm afraid of. Show me my sinfulness. Lead me through it. Now break me. Here I am. Send me. Tell me what to do. I'll do it. That's a prayer life that we're going to share for the next 14 days. Can you imagine? Yes, you can. I know. I can see your faces. Not saying it. Not going to pray it. Not going to pray it. I didn't even pray the other two. And if I hold out long enough, the challenge will be over, and I can go back to my cushy life. And he won't be on me no more about praying this. Somebody last week said, why do you look at me when you say these things? Because you're guilty. And you're staring back with those don't look at me eyes. If you don't want me to look at you, don't look at me with the don't look at me eyes. It's kind of like the don't call on me to pray eyes. Those look like this. You might as well put a sign right there. I'll pray. If you don't want to pray, do this. How dare you? How dare you? I'll give you my kind of own version of this prayer. When I kind of wake up and have had a coffee or two. God, here's my hands. Show them what to do. Here's my feet. Tell them where to go. Here's my mouth. Tell it what to say. And here's my mind. Take care of everything that comes to it. Daily. And that's just my version of I'm available. I'm available. I'm ready to work. I'm ready to do. I'm ready to go. And so often, the night before, and I've told you this before, I will look at my calendar or my to-do list, and I've already planned tomorrow. Like today. I've already planned tomorrow. I've actually probably told a couple of y'all, yes, that's tomorrow. I'm going to do that tomorrow. But in the morning, I'm going to wake up, and I'm going to have that little time with God, and 9 times out of 10, he blows it completely up. And he goes, that's not what we're doing. You see, when I do that, I'm actually saying, Lord, here I am, send me just as soon as I'm done with what I'm doing. Right? Here I am, send me just as soon as I got space in my life, you send me. Yeah, you and I both know when the gaps are going to happen, you use those. Don't give me any downtime. But in between, I got to get done what I got to get done. Not the prayer. Send me. At your will, at your leisure, send me. See, it's an incredibly dangerous prayer. We kind of looked at his prayer. That's Isaiah 6:8. Now let's look at the verses that lead up to it, because this is what you got to have to get there. This is where you got to get to in this whole prayer time of search me, reveal to me, show me my fears, lead me and break me. This is where you kind of got to get to. As he breaks you, I believe this is what you see. So Isaiah 6:1 kind of leads us up. In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw, there you need to highlight it, I saw the Lord high and exalted, seated on a throne, and the train of his robe filled the temple. Key number 1, you've got to get to him. You've got to, it says, saw him. See, I believe God actually revealed himself to Isaiah. Now, whether he saw it in a dream, whether he miraculously took him somewhere, it's the exact same thing as you seeing God in your life, as God revealing to you himself. I don't know what that looks like, but I do know it's key. You have to get in the presence of God. You cannot be going about doing your whole thing and not get in his presence. Not like just talking and praying and see whatever it looks like, but you got to get there. He's got to be able to reveal to you who he is. You see, when you break yourself, when you ask God, break me down and tear me up, now fill me up. Paul says, be continuously filled. That's presence of God. Be continuously filled with the Spirit of God. Because when you're not, the world piles on and the world fills you up. The world gives you ideas. The world gives you desires. The world gives you things. And you feel like, oh, I got it. Yeah. Paul says, be filled with the Spirit continuously. And when you ask God to break you open and pour you out, which is what we did with our communion last week, break me open, pour me out, God, and then fill me back up with you. That's continuous. It's not a one-time shot. Promise. If you're sitting here and you can say, I followed God one day. I walked down that aisle and I met that preacher and got myself baptized. I'm on my way to heaven. If that's your testimony, whoo, shame on you. because it is a continuous process. I can promise you the moment you turned around from that preacher, the devil went, gotcha. And he tried to pump stuff into you. And he probably accomplished it if you didn't continuously be filled with the Holy Spirit. If you didn't continuously ask God, replace me, replace me, replace me. I'm broken, poured out, replace me, replace me. Yeah, you got to have that moment. Absolutely. I believe there's a moment that you, old guy dead, new guy born, and you've got to train that guy up to continuously stay in his presence. So number one, you've got to get to the presence of God, and you've got to experience that presence so that you can know. Why is it that maybe you're not as available to God as you should be? Maybe you haven't gotten into his presence in a while. Maybe you haven't gotten close to him in a while. Maybe through this exercise you can realize that those prayers you're throwing up, just throwing them up, hey, looks like you trying to get through your day. I'm just trying to get through today. One day at a time. How you doing, brother? One day at a time. Just having the Lord get me through it. Wow. How you doing? Just waiting on my assignment. Just waiting on what God wants me to do. That's your day. That's what it looks like when you're searched and broken and ready to be used. Just waiting. Waiting on my marching orders. Got one. Got to go. That's what it kind of looks like. It's crazy. Well, at least in my world. May not look like that to yours. Jump over to, I'm trying to decide if I want to go to that one. Second thing you need, yeah, I will. Genuine awareness of your sinfulness. Genuine awareness of what you yourself, the person that you, whatever your name is in the world that mom and dad gave you, a genuine awareness of just how crappy you really are. The flesh guy. Because when you get into the presence of God, now that's why I put them in order. And when you get to the presence of God, that's the first thing that's going to happen to you. You see, I'm scared of people that say, oh, I was in my prayer closet, and I was really close to God, and I just felt like, oh my gosh, it's so amazing. Because what I notice is when you get close to God, you start to feel really bad about you, the physical self. Not your spirit, but you. Look at Isaiah, I think it's verse 5, right? I love this. Woe to me, I cried. What? I'm what? I'm ruined. One of your versions says, I'm undone. Love that. I saw who God was, and it just messed me up. I mean, I'm tore up. I'm broken. Because when I got close to him, and I said, I'm yours, send me. Man, I just got messed up. I'm a man of unclean lips. I live among a people of unclean lips. And my eyes have seen the King, the Lord Almighty. You see, I know who I am. When I get to where God is, I know who I am. And I know what's around me, but I've got to put my eyes and keep them on Him. You see, just because I'm following God closely doesn't make me better. Just because I'm following God closely and listening to Him and being available doesn't make you good friends. Doesn't change any of that. I'm still horrible. You're still wicked. Welcome to Beach Baptist, where we pump you up. I'm ruined. I'm ruined. When's the last time you can actually say I'm ruined? Because I got so close to God, I couldn't handle my fleshly self. It's not, I got close to God. We already revealed our sin. He's already showed me that. This is a much deeper level. This is not him looking at Isaiah and going, Isaiah, you skipped church last week. You're a bad guy. Isaiah, you said a cuss word. You're a bad guy. No. This is on a spiritual, this is on a gut-wrenching, ruined level. So much non-deserving of God that I can't understand why he would even look my direction kind of thing. When's the last time you thought that about yourself? Because see, this is not what you felt right before you met him. This is not a lost person's feeling. This is realization of what God did for you. This is knowing what grace is all about. You see, you've got to get to the point to where you can get into his presence so that you can find out just how pitifully wicked you are, so that you can understand how much grace God had to give you to get you to the point where you could say, I'm usable by you. Because you see, when you think you got all of it going on, when you think, God's lucky to have me. Yeah, I got a lot to offer God now. When you're at that point, that's horrid. Horrid. And you can't be used. You're using God to get your point across, to get your agenda accomplished. I just know when I get close to God, I feel unworthy. Man. We're going to skip that verse 6 part. It's so much more than, gosh, I got to pray this prayer so that God will forgive me of that sin I just did. It's the prayer of, I can't believe I've done one thing to even deserve to be in his presence. And him to respond, you didn't. You didn't. You did absolutely nothing to get here. You've never been good enough, but it doesn't matter. I still want you. I still want to use you. I still love you. What does it look like in your life? I don't know. But I thought I'd show you what it looks like in our life, because this is kind of what it looks like in our life. We were, at one point, we became foster parents because I thought we should. She didn't. And then we stopped being foster parents because she thought we should and I didn't. Just kind of how it works. So we're in and out, we're used, and we're following. But now it looks like this. Can we show them what that looks like? That's what it looks like. Yeah, go ahead. Wow. Because that's what I think every time I look at it. Except for Paul. He's just in there. No, they're not foster kids. They're not foster kids. I don't know what they are. I don't. Yeah. We said they're mine this week, and somebody got mad because they're not yours. Well, they're mine because God said they got to live with you for a while. And there's 4 that came out of her and 3 that didn't. But it didn't change it. It didn't change God saying, they're yours for right now. Do this. Because I happen to say, send me. See, y'all think I like them. I'm not being funny. Y'all think I'm out trying to find derelict kids that want to live with me. Not. Can you imagine? My life would be so much easier if it was just 2 of the ones that were actually birthed. You pick which 2. But then you add in the nightmares. I'm sorry, are they in here? Some of them are. Some of them are nightmares. The life is a nightmare with that many teenagers from that many families with that much background, that much baggage, that many needs. And I'm not picking on them. I do love them. But I happen to say, use me, and that's what he chose. You're not any madder than I am. I would rather do something else. Sometimes. I don't know what it looks like in your life. But I know if you're sitting out there right now and said, wouldn't be me, you're not ready. You're not ready. Don't say the prayer. Don't say it. Now, you can say, I hope it's not me. That's okay. That's okay. But to put your foot down and say, Lord, send me, but not to that. Or to that. Or to take it off because they're hippie looking and they're weird. And look at Nate. Looks like a dork. Nice. So whatever it is. You see, I truly believe that's what it is for me. I don't know what it is for you. But figure it out. Figure it out. If you're in this challenge, understand that the minute you say it, it's going to mess you up. It's going to mess you up. He's going to turn your life upside down for his life. For his life. And it's awesome. It's awesome. I'll tell you a really quick story. What time is it? Oh, yeah, we got time. Real quick story. Because the pastor that shared it with me, I'm kind of like him. He still meets people at the back door, and I still do that. I watched my dad do that. I watched all kinds of people do that as I was growing up. But in the year of church now, the preacher comes in from one of those doors, and waving, like. And then when it's in, he's like. And he runs out the back door, and he's got a green room. I don't have a green room. If I run out that door, I get wet. So I don't get to do that. Not that I want to. So I still go to the back door, and I meet you all. Well, the story this pastor's telling us, he did this. And this guy kept coming. The first week he came up and was like, oh, Lord, Pastor, oh, my God, life is so awesome. The answer is yes. What's the question? And the preacher said, you're weird. Got to go. And, he just kind of nodded. Second week, he came back by, and he's like, oh, preacher, man, life is good. He's just blessing me. It's so good. The answer is yes. What's the question? And the preacher's like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, it's a little, I'm glad you enjoyed the sermon. Go, kind of thing. And he just kind of got the guy away from him. Third week, the guy's back. He did it again. He's just like, God, Pastor, man, today was awesome. He's just working in my life. It's crazy. The answer is yes. What's the question? And the preacher, there's people piled up. He's like, can we have coffee this week? Can we go sit together and we'll talk about this whole question, yes, answer thing? Is that okay? And the guy's like, yeah. So they do. They meet up on Tuesday or whatever day it was. And he sat with him. He's like, okay, I just got to know, what are you talking about? And the guy says, or he told him his whole story, and it was a story of just like brokenness and addictions and all this stuff. And he said, I got to the point to where I knew what I needed, and I, just sitting in service one day, I said, God, I need you. And ever since that moment, he's been all over me. And everything's different. He said, check with my wife. She thinks she's married to a different guy. It's just been crazy. He said, but what I'm trying to tell you, preacher, is that I don't care what the question is. I don't care if it's the yard needs to be mowed at 2 a.m. I'm that guy. He said, I don't care if you need somebody to go visit at a hospital, cancer, whatever it is. I'm the guy. I'm telling you, I've already told God yes. I want to know what the question is. And the preacher said, wow. All along, that's what we've been trying to get people to say to God. The answer is yes. What's the question? What's the question? I am so blessed as a pastor to have a bunch of people who are like that. Really like that. They're not in this room right now because they're cooking your lunch. Seriously, they are. They are. And it happened this week with Randy, and I'm going to tell on him because he's not here and he's out cooking fish. And we were sitting in his truck, and he's like, man, we had been through Broken Sunday, and we're crying in the truck. It's a really sight to see when you see a big burly guy like that crying. He's not burly. But he's like, man, I don't know what. He said, I feel like I failed as a friend, and whatever, and we're talking, and he gets to the point where he goes, I just want to be able to be ready to serve. And I said, really? He said, yeah. And I said, I need somebody to lead a group of foot washing and Lord's Supper the Thursday before Easter. He didn't even think. He didn't even judge. He got his count. He says, I'll make sure I'm back from any charter I've got planned. I'm on it. That's it. I'm there. Do you know how scary it is to lead a foot washing / Lord's Supper small group of about 20 people? Anybody know how scary it is? I didn't think so. It's scary. But right then he said, see, he wrote the sermon before he got to today. He said, whatever it is. And it was the night before. I had stood before you all on Wednesday night and said, I got to have 2 people. I got to have 2 guys. And I'm not picking you. You're coming to me. And he walked right up and said, I just want to do whatever God needs me to do. And I said, here's the first one. So I'm telling you now, there's still a spot open. And now, see, you got a heads up. Trust me, you're scared to death. Yeah, here I am, but I'm not doing that. He didn't have the excuse because he didn't have the sermon. But you do. We need another guy and a partner to lead a foot wash and Lord's Supper thing. Here I am, Lord. Send somebody else. Here I am, Lord. Not for that. Or what is it? I don't know. God's got something in mind for almost every single minute of your day. And he'll show you what it is the minute you say, Lord, here I am. Send me. So I wrote out a little prayer for us to say together to kind of get the balls rolling in your head to think about what your prayer should sound like. And you can copy this, save it, take a picture of your phone, or you can write your own. No big deal. I'm going to read it to you, and then we're going to read it together. God, I've been comfortable for way too long. Please forgive me. I know you want to use me to show your love in this world. Give me eyes to see needs of others and a heart that dares to get involved where you're working. God, my life is yours. Whatever you want, wherever you need, here I am, Lord. Send me. Let's say it together. God, I've been comfortable for way too long. Please forgive me. I know you want to use me to show your love in this world. Give me eyes to see needs of others and a heart that dares to get involved where you are working. God, my life is yours. Whatever you want, wherever you need, here I am, Lord. Send me. Stand with me. Just in case it's hard for you to hear him, he's sending you to the back parking lot to have dinner. So I'll meet you at the door if you need to go out the front and walk around, but if you don't, just walk. You know what? No, we're going to go over there. We're going to go over there. Actually, we're going to go to the back door, back that way. Spend some time today You see, you've set this day aside to be God's day. You've said, this is my Sabbath. I'm setting it aside for you. Whatever plans you had, maybe he's changing them. I don't know. If you started praying that right now, he could have just changed them. Be open to that. Be open to that. But spend some time today getting ready. Just getting ready to hear his voice. Get into his presence today. Get ruined. And then get sent. Get sent. By way of just blessing our dinner today, because I wanted that to be our prayer today. Craig, would you come up here and bless lunch and then send us out the door?